live, I guess we can get going. Okay. Okay. We just did, yeah. Okay, so welcome everybody to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of November 15th, 2022. On a roll call?
Councilman Tom Zivini.
Here.
Councilman Paul Valentine.
Here.
Councilman Jerry Petari, absent. Councilman Brian Donahue.
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Here. Okay, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. We will have Councilman Valentine lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we have a couple of announcements. The Town of Orangetown, in partnership with the Veterans Angels of Hope, is providing free Thanksgiving dinner bags to all veterans in Orangetown on Saturday, November 19th. Just please call the supervisor's office to reserve your dinner, 359-5100, extension 2293, or email at veteran@orangetown.com. The 31st Annual Santa Claus 5K Run will be on Sunday, December 11th. Please visit orangetown.com to sign up. We're just going to have a moment of silence for the 3 University of Virginia football players, Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry. Okay, we'll move on to the workshop of the agenda. Okay, so we have a continuation of the public hearing from October 25th on the preliminary budget. We have the closing the public hearing. Then we have some amendments, which we will been speaking of and are familiar with.
This is not the final then, tonight?
No, this is not the final, right? This is not the final. Is it the final? We're adopting the final? Okay.
It says approved 20.
Budget as, 6 says a preliminary budget as amended. So then is it,
Isn't it approved final budget?
It should say approved,
budget?
adopted budget. You're adopting the budget.
All right.
It says approved the 23rd preliminary budget
As,
the adopted.
as the adopted budget. So it's really the caption that's kind of a little off, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like. All right.
Okay, so number 7 is approve the contract with the Fire Protection Services. Number 8 is for library services. 9, recognizing the Orangetown Housing Authority's appointment of Sharon Ogden as a tentative representative. Number 10, we are pulling.
We're putting it on the 29th,
I'm going to move this to the 29th.
That's for the Washington Avenue.
Washington Avenue.
Yeah, so if there's anybody you
Anyone?
want to let know about,
Anyone who
Okay.
wants to come out and talk to the board, come out on the 29th. I'm giving you 2 more weeks.
okay. Number 11 is the one-time lump sum payment. This is for the non-union employees of the town. It kind of in lieu of some of what the CSEA was given. So that's basically what we agreed upon. Number 12 is approve the retainer agreement with Wilson Elser in connection with the collection of overdue non-resident fees. So this has to do with the OMM/Metro Sports, whatever their name is, and the ongoing, very prolonged negotiations, for lack of a better word. So anyway, the town attorney's office has been so immersed in it that they may be called upon to be witnesses on if it should come to anything. So we decided it might be appropriate to bring in a legal counsel to kind of just review the matter and see where we go from here. Number 13, approve the 1-year contract with managed service provider services, Virtuit, if I'm saying it right, Systems?
Yes.
Virtuit, okay.
And as we discussed, we're all going to support this, but we want the search for the next department head of the IT department to start as soon as possible. Is Roberto here? No?
Roberto, maybe, I think more, I think it's, yeah,
Well,
it's
just-
not so much Roberto, I think it's, well,
Well,
I don't know if Matt's here. Yeah, so basically, Anthony Bevilacqua left. We are in the midst of a move in upgrading to Microsoft 360, whatever it's called.
365.
365. There's a lot going on. So both Anthony, before he left, and Matt Lenahan, who's in the IT department, both recommended that, at least in the immediate term, we hire a managed service provider who can help us with the move, get us set up, order certain things. They have to be, what was the terminology they used? Have to be like a provider of certain, because we need to get certain. This was like Chinese to me, by the way.
Yeah, I
was like,
agree.
whatever. But they knew what they were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
But-
anyway, I think the overall thing was that we needed sooner rather than later, and we didn't have the time to go through kind of civil service, getting titles, seeing if there's lists, tests, all that other stuff. So, we interviewed 3 different managed service providers. All seemed to meet the qualifications. Matt sat in on the interviews. They have worked with us before, so they're familiar with our equipment and what we need and the move, whatever. They came in, their bid was less than the other alternative group that we had. So, I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer, seriously, and we can certainly reevaluate and look at it, and once we get into the new building, look at bringing in somebody to replace Anthony at that time. So, I do see Matt's here, I do see
Well,
Bob's
I mean,
here.
I really would like to start the process now, because I'd like to see whoever's gonna head the IT department, I would like them to be brought in so they can work with the consultant, so that they're not starting from scratch if we wait until this is completed. So I would like personnel to start posting and going after the titles sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I don't think it's posting, I mean, I guess it's unless we're leaving Anthony's title, or we want to look at
Un-
other titles. Yeah, go
Unless
ahead.
you're looking for a different title or what have you.
All right, so Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, was civil service.
Correct, yes.
So-
There is an active list for his title, so we would, if we're going that route with the existing title, then we would request a list and see who's
Well,
on that list.
I don't know if we're doing
Well,
that.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying.
Yeah.
And
That's
then-
what I've been
and then-
trying
Well,
to
was that-
say.
well-
If people would listen to me.
Well, that's,
And then we could look for another title, but I do
Right.
believe that is the highest title in that field as far as civil service goes, Director of Automated Systems.
Right.
And so we could explore
Right.
other options,
been
but that
saying
would
this.
take time to implement with the
All
county.
right.
Right,
which-
and again, the question has become in the past, do we want somebody with civil service or somebody who's more appointed? And of course, that involves working with the Department of Civil Service, which is not always fast,
no, it's,
as we know.
it's a slow process. All right.
So anyway,
Thank you.
okay. So we will follow up with you on that, Bob, thanks. Okay, number 14 is award the bid for the roof and structural repairs at Blue Hill Restaurant. I believe we only had one bidder, so that made that somewhat easy. I don't know, Eric's here if anybody has questions for him?
No.
No? That was easy.
that was-
Clarify, we had 2 bidders.
Oh, I
One
thought
of
you
the
said,
bidders
oh, one was
with-
not qualified?
Yeah, they withdrew their bid after
Oh.
they took a look at the project.
Okay,
They-
so,
So there was a question because there was a pretty big variance in the prices that were given to us. The low bidder, we brought them in hoping they were not the outlier, but once they reviewed the specs on site with us, they very
They were
quickly
laughing
said,
and then
"This
they
isn't
left."
what we thought it was. There were things in the specs they didn't account for in their price, so they withdrew their bid. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
okay,
Okay.
thank you. Number 15, approve lend assistance to the Japan Veterans Day service, which was actually this past Friday. And then number 16, approve lend assistance to the 2022 Japan Fire Department 5K, which was this Sunday, and I don't want to brag, but in my age category, and Carmel Riley from my staff came in second in the age category. She's a very dedicated employee. She made sure to stay behind me. For- Anyway.
I heard Barbadello came in third.
Let me tell you something. It is a really difficult race course. I'm telling you, if anybody is thinking about it, don't do it. Anyway, okay. Number 17, accept, receive, and file documents in the town clerk's office, and then we will have the audit. Okay, so Okay, can I get a motion to open the public comment?
Moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
This regular public comment or the?
yeah, we'll do a public comment. We got a couple minutes, right? I mean, we only have one person signed up, so we should be quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Gerard Goggins?
I know.
Thank you.
This is weird.
Thank you, thank you.
Jerry Goggin, 66 Sickletown Road, Orangeburg. What you're looking at in front of you is the affidavit from Ms. Jane Slavin, who's the head of the Department of OBZPAE. So you're probably already aware, because your attorneys have probably already informed you, that last week, I think it was, or the week before, we received a letter from the attorneys of RCW suggesting that we were defaming them by claiming that the operations of RCW were illegal. This, of course, caused us unspeakable emotional trauma. But after spending a couple of hours in the fetal position, I realized that this was a great opportunity to explain to you why we believe RCW's operations are illegal. Now, there's a lot to this explanation, and I'm not going to cover it all tonight. But I thought a really good place to start would be with the sworn affidavit of Ms. Slavin. After all, she's a fully qualified official of the town. She's highly skilled in her professional position. And in addition, this document is an affidavit sworn under pain of perjury. So I think we can be fairly confident about its contents. I'm not going to go through the whole document because we don't have time for that. But I'm just going to allude to a couple of things in here that I underlined. Be patient with me while I try and turn these pages. Okay, so Ms. Slavin establishes her credentials, which are abundant, and then points out on page 5 that the petitioners were denied a permit, but that they did not pursue any relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals. This is a standard procedure in the town. The building department, as if I may refer to it thus informally, may deny a permit, but then you can appeal it to the Board of Appeals. But that appeal was never made. And there's a time limit on the period for which that appeal can be made. I forget whether it's 30 days or 60 days, but no appeal was made within that time. And the result of that is that the matter is considered closed from an administrative perspective. Further on in this document, on page 6, she says, the property is being utilized and improved without obtaining site development plan approval as required under the zoning code. Structures on the property used for beverage and food consumption in the absence of building permits or certificates of occupancy. RCW has in fact pled guilty to utilizing buildings on the property without a C of O in violation of the building code. And in my final comment, for which I'm going to have time, she notes that Mr. Oliver, the deputy building inspector, observed that the cidery operations entailed the congregation of customers into greenhouse structures for which C of Os had not been issued. Now that is still the case. It was happening this weekend. I will come back at the next meeting and continue this discussion of this and other documents. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, you want to speak? Because you're the only one, you're the only one there. Okay, okay. Can I get a motion to close the public portion?
Move to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, can I get a motion to open the continuation of the public hearing on the preliminary budget?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is there, and no one signed up to speak on the budget? Is there anybody that would like to speak on the budget? Seeing no hands?
This is weird.
It's because we're doing such a great job, Tom, don't question it, you know?
I make a motion to close the
Okay.
public portion
Okay,
of the budget.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, so next we have some amendments to the preliminary budget. So we're going to break them up into section, how do we do this? Just open.
Those identified by account number A, if you want to take a vote on those first.
Okay.
The town clerk, the
To the
superintendent of
first, yeah,
highways, and
it's
town
basically all,
clerk.
it's all, yeah, for the most part. So we're doing the 3As on top. Okay, so you'll see there's some amendments there from the original budget, which is basically reinstating, so some things that had been taken out are being put back in, a little bit reduced. So most to do with the town clerk's office, because she pled her case so wonderfully. So do we get a motion to amend the budget for the 3A lines? Motion.
Moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
You want to
Aye.
you want to do a roll call just to, for
Oh, we can
consistency?
do a roll call, okay.
Yeah, roll call.
Okay. Councilman Tom Divany,
Yes.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Yes.
Jerry's absent, Councilman Brian Donahue,
Yes.
and Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Yes. Okay, the next is vote on the amendments regarding the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on the B line. Somebody want to make a motion?
Moved.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Paul moved, Tom seconded.
Second.
So I'm going to make some comments. I can do when I vote no, whichever you want to say. Do a roll call, and then I'll say it then. Yeah, we'll do it then.
Okay. Councilman Tom Divany,
I'll vote yes, and by doing these amendments, we're adding 2 officers to be a traffic enforcement unit. We don't have that right now. I support it, but I also want the chief to know if he doesn't use the police officers that are being hired for the traffic unit, if he uses them for backfill and minimum manning, you know, we'll just not fill any open positions. So I think anyone who's supporting this wants traffic enforcement. There's too many trucks on 303 and on other roads and cutting through residential areas, so that's why I support this.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
I'm also voting yes. I think this is a very important endeavor when everybody around the world's cutting the police budgets. I think we need to protect the residents of Orangetown, and my office is on 303, and people drive like lunatics. And I think they do because of total disregard for one another and for the rule of law. So I think we need a traffic enforcement to protect our residents, so I support this.
Councilman, Jerry's not here, Councilman Brian Donahue,
I do support it, and I reiterate what Mr. Valentine and Mr. Divany had said. One of the biggest complaints we get, or I get specifically, is speeding violations and reckless driving. So that's why I'm supporting it. Thank you.
and Supervisor Teresa Kenny.
Okay, so I'm going to be voting no, but I just want to make a couple of things very clear. I certainly agree that we need traffic enforcement, that is one of the biggest complaints that we receive. I would have personally liked to see at least an attempt made with the current officers that we have on patrol on a minimum staffing to do a little bit more traffic. We do get the monthly reports on the traffic summonses issued, and I would have liked to see an effort made to get those officers to focus on a little bit more. And this, of course, is all budgetary related. I mean, I'd love to say hire 10 more police officers to do traffic, because it is a problem in the town. I'd like to see community police officers out there. I'd like to see a lot of things, but unfortunately, they all come with a price tag. And so even these 2 police officers with their starting salaries and with their benefits, we're looking at, over $200,000, which, okay, it's $200,000, but within 5 years, those 2 officers are going to cost us at least $530,000 with benefits. And so, to me, unfortunately, it's it's a sustainability issue, and, you know, with the contract, the PPA contract is coming up at the end of the year. I would like to see some concessions given by the union for new officers that would make hiring new officers a little bit more sustainable for us. So, you know, the other thing is we already took over $3 million out of reserves to meet this budget under the tax cap, in part because we had the South Nyack issue, which kind of left us shorter than we expected. So, you know, using much more reserves, to me, I start to get a little bit nervous about. Again, I thoroughly support more traffic enforcement. I would have just liked to see an effort made to really work within what we have already before we, you know, added another burden on the taxpayers. You know, and I know when people talk about taxes, they say, you know, the taxes are so high in the county. You know, the police budget is 40% of our budget. And, I mean, if you look at the numbers, you know, the staffing salary alone is $12.7 million. So at some point, we have to make some efforts to kind of rein these costs in. So with that said, you know, I support our law enforcement. I know I'll get beat up for being whatever, but I support them, and I think they do a great job. And we know we had a tough week with some officers getting hurt, so I don't diminish that at all. This is really about trying to keep the taxes under control. So with that, I'm going to vote no.
On a side note, Jeff, what is the fund balance right now?
The usable fund balance at the end of our last audited fiscal year was about $17.5 million, but we budgeted to use $2.2 million last year. Now we're doing $3.2 million this year for 2023. So that's going to bring us down to the range of $12.5 million.
Which is still 20%. Anything more than that would be fiscally irresponsible.
Okay, number 6. So approve the, whatever you want to call it, adopted budget as amended. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 7, approve the 1-year contract with the Fire Protection Service, Blauvelt Fire Protection District, and the Blauvelt, one more time, the Blauvelt Volunteer Fire Company.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, recognize the Orangetown Housing Authority's appointment of Sharon,
I think you
I
missed
skipped
the-
one?
The libraries.
Libraries, fire districts are all the same. No, I'm not kidding. Okay, approval 1-year contract for the library services, Orangetown Library District, contracts with the Blauvelt Free Library, the Orangeburg Library, the Palisades Free Library, and the Tapan Free Library. Motion.
Moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 9, recognize the Orangetown Housing Authority's appointment of Sharon Ogden as a tenant representative, effective June 23rd, 2022. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second, Tom Divany. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 13th, we pulled. Oh, do I have to make a motion to pull it, or just, no? We just pulled it, right, okay. Okay, number 11, authorize a one-time lump sum payment, full-time and part-time appointed and excluded officials. Can I get a motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
Brian, all in favor?
Aye.
Us electeds are screwed. We get nothing.
We get the love.
We get the love of the residents. Okay. Approve the retainer agreement with Wilson Elzer for the collection of overdue non-resident fees at a charge of no more than $250 per hour. We want to put like a cap on there, or they have to come back? Sometimes we do that, you know, we say
Yeah,
it's not to
cap.
exceed.
Sure, you want to cap it at 10, maybe?
Yeah.
10,000?
Yeah, I mean, then we just,
Let's
Because-
do 20, just so that we don't have to. I'm good with capping it at 20.
So that's fine.
I mean, it's just really just a nut.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that it would get that high, to be
No.
honest.
No, it
with you.
wouldn't, but, you know,
That's
Okay.
fine.
So we're capping at 20?
Yep.
20, so.
I mean,
Yeah, not to, you know, so basically they have to come back to get more authority. Okay.
well,
I
it's
know.
$250 an hour, they usually charge 5, so.
Yeah, no, we get a municipal break, so.
You get a ridiculous rate.
And maybe we
Okay.
won't need to use it.
Yeah, hopefully we don't need to use it, but, you know, at this point, it's been a long
All
time.
right, I'll move that.
Okay, Tom Divany moved it. Second?
I'll second it.
Okay. You know, do we need a roll call?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I wasn't asking you, I was asking him. He's like, no, we don't even want to know. Okay, number 13, approve the one-year contract for managed service providers services for Tuit Systems at a charge of $7,055 a month. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
Tom Divany, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 14, a motion to award the bid for roof and structural repairs to Hayden Building Maintenance of West Nyack, in the amount of $61,750. Can I get a motion?
Moved. Second. Well, what's your committee?
I'll make a motion, Tom, second.
Roll call on that?
All in favor?
Aye.
15, lend assistance to the Japan Veterans Day Service. Motion?
Paul,
I'll
Paul
make a
Valentine. Motion, okay.
second.
Tom Divany, second. All in favor?
motion.
Aye.
Approve lend assistance to the 2022 Japan Fire Department 5K. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Why don't you do it since you
I'll
came
make the
first?
motion.
You
I'll
make it.
second it.
And I'll second it. No, I'm kidding.
I'll second it.
Carmel can second, because she came
Carmel seconded.
Carmel, you second.
Okay, I made the motion. I don't know, I think Brian seconded.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Accept, receive, file documents at the town clerk's office. We have the tempered minutes, LaBerge contract for the South Nyack parking study, and the Rockland County-led Project Connect.
Moved.
Motion, Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
Brian Daniel in favor?
Aye.
The audit?
Okay, the audit for tonight's meeting consists of 3 warrants for a total of $1.7 million. The first warrant had 26 vouchers for $28,000 and was for utilities. The second warrant had 10 vouchers for $64,000 and was also for utilities. Third warrant had 237 vouchers for $1.6 million and was of interest. Number 2 and 3, the applied golf contracts. Number 7, Fanshawe, $75,000 for new town hall electrical, bonded money. Number 8, Global Metello, $43,000 for fuel. Number 10, JP Morgan Equipment Finance, $53,000 for the energy performance contract. Number 11, Joe Lombardo, $103,000 for new town hall plumbing, that's bonded. Number 17, SNL Plumbing and Heating, $35,000 for new town hall HVAC, also bonded money. Number 19, Sport Tech Construction, $56,000 for pickleball court renovation, also bonded money. Number 20, the comptroller, $30,000 for justice fines. Number 22, Vanis Construction, $495,000 for the GC and the new town hall project, also bonded. Number 23, Verdi Electric, $160,000 for new traffic signals, and also bonded money. Any questions on the audit?
Nope, okay. Can I get a motion to accept the audit?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second. Sorry, Paul.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to get into executive session for land sale, which might affect the value. We do have 2 adjournments. We have Robert Beckerly, who is the son of former Orangetown Director of Environmental Management and Engineering, Bob Beckerly, and Tara Kenny, a resident of Pearl River, no relationship to me, because I've been asked, so. So we're not gonna come out and vote, so can I get a motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
Brian Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't know. He was young, he had young kids.